took over for her. Some other blonde. Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. It's not Three's Company. I guess it is Three's Company. Corey Johnson with you, the neutral ground. Jason, a.k.a. the Raging Cajun, the man in black, fielding your phone calls. And you. Speaking of phone calls, the phone lines are always open. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Love to hear from you today. I don't seek out controversy. I don't seek out stirring the pot. It just sort of naturally happens. And I'm a person that seems to be fairly informed. I think you'd agree. A little bit, somewhat, kind of, at least. I don't comment on things I don't know anything about. I try to follow the news and stuff like that. I'm laughing because I'm thinking of a former talk radio host in the city. I read a lot. That's what he used to say. All right. Why don't you pat yourself on the back some more? A lot of people read a lot. Congratulations. No, but it is my job to come on and be informed and have an opinion, a strong opinion. And for me, it just kind of comes natural. It's kind of easy. I've been in this position doing talk radio, talk television, editorials, opinions, commentary for about 30 years. And I didn't seek out radio and television. It just was a natural landing spot for me. Always inquisitive, always observing. There's a few folks I know that tell my friends, like, dude, Corey asks so many questions. What's his deal? Why don't you think about what the questions are? It's nothing personal. It's don't care about your financials. Not interested in your life with your spouse. Just regular stuff. How you doing? How have you been? Things have been going well? Question mark. Those types of questions. Anyway, going to jump right into it. By the way, 70s and 80s all week. About 85 right now. Feels almost like 90. But there is kind of a breeze blowing that's not hot like we're about to get. 60s and 70s this weekend. We might wake up to high 50s next week for a couple of days, but we are on the brink of summer. It's just weeks away from the heat and humidity for a good 5 months straight, almost 6 months straight. We don't come out of it till maybe the first week in October. 2 summers ago, not last summer, the summer before, it was an amazing summer. We had about a half dozen days in late May, all of June up to July 4th, about 6 days where it got into the 90s. Normally we have about 40 or 50 in that same time period. So hopefully we have 2 summers ago. I'd love a mild May, a mild June. Are you kidding me? We'll see. But almost feels like 90, about feels like 88 degrees out there right now. But pleasant. I might hit Audubon Park after work for a little walk / Pseudo jog. Under those oak trees, the path at Audubon Park definitely blocks out some of that sun, some of that heat. The LSU Lady Tigers are national champions. What a basketball game. Beating Iowa yesterday in the championship game for women's hoops. In just year 2 of the Mulkey era. 1 returning starter off of that 26-6 team from last year. They are 60-8 since Mulkey took over a 9-win ball club. 9 wins. 60-8. 9 newcomers on this year's team. 9 newcomers, and they win the national title. Now, if it were a, quote, sports talk program, I guess that would be the topic. But we're not really a sports talk program. Brett Martel joins us on Mondays. He'll do it in the next hour, 5 o'clock powwow around 5:30, 5:35. Another Martel Monday, 25 years with the AP. We'll talk sports. On Fridays, Fletcher Mackle joins us. Fridays with Fletch. We talk some sports. I like sports. I like music. I like food. But mostly we talk about news and politics and New Orleans, Louisiana, regional, national, even international stuff sometimes, but kind of that type of thing. After yesterday's ball game, a fantastic win for LSU, the final few minutes winding down, Caitlin Clark, maybe the best basketball player in the game. She's walking off the court, and Angel Reece, maybe LSU's best player, an All-American, starts doing the hand in the face, the pointing to the ring on the finger like I'm getting a ring and you're not. And it kind of pained me. I was like, no, come on. Why are you doing that? Show a little sportsmanship. Show a little class. Act like you've been there before. And obviously never been to a national championship victory, but winning ways, that's all Angel Reece is about. She's a winner. She's an All-American. But I thought Angel Reece's antics were wrong. Selfish. Taking away from LSU's championship. As much attention, at least, if not more, is about Angel Reece and her antics at the end of the ball game than LSU winning the national championship. It is definitely has taken away from that team win. I said on Twitter, who cares what Caitlin Clark did? Is Reece supposed to be the equalizer, disrespecting South Carolina? I'm really supposed to believe that? SEC brethren, really? Or sisters? No, it bummed me out as an LSU fan, as an Angel Reece fan. As an Angel Reece fan. I love Angel Reece. Bayou Barbie, are you kidding me? It's all great stuff. Social media sensation, huge income from NIL. Good for her. She, it's great. She's like, I'm coming back to LSU next year because I make more money in college than I will in the WNBA, and it's probably true. Probably get more high-paying endorsements as a college student than a WNBA player. There's more attention on the college women's game than the WNBA, than the pro game. I don't even think it's close or arguable. Bigger crowds, bigger TV audience, the whole 9 yards. I just think Angel Reece should have acted better. 20 years old, cut her some slack. She's an LSU Tiger. I love Angel Reece, so I'm probably biased on this. But boy, I did not think watching it. First off, for not a second, I'm an LSU guy. Off the air, if I was doing sports talk, I'd be like, I'm an LSU fan. I was rooting for LSU, not for Iowa in the least bit. When Iowa started cutting into LSU's 21-point lead, I almost was getting physically sick. Totally, my Australian Shepherd was coming over by me like, what's wrong? Could tell I was an emotional wreck because LSU was sort of blowing that 21-point lead, but they didn't. Alexis Morris, my God, what a fourth quarter for her. And what a journey for her. I never for a moment thought about race, not for a second. And just in typical American fashion, it comes down to race again. It's 2023. It's really tiring and sickening. There isn't this all-encompassing thing, white against black, black against white. Every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, it has only gotten better for black folks, Asian folks, Latinos, homosexuals, women. I acknowledge I'm a white male heterosexual. The skids are greased for me. I believe in white male entitlement. I know it's true. But with all that said, my God, just to quickly, immediately turn this into race, Caitlin Clark did something similar, so it's equal and opposite. White girl does it, she gets away with it. Black girl does it, she gets criticized. I think a whole lot of excuse making for just not a classy move by Angel Reece. That's all. I don't think LSU, I don't think anyone's going to say much about it officially. I'll talk about it. You can too. Corey Johnson with you.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool side. NolaAC.com, your cool side.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville. Yeah, you right. Love to hear from you. We don't screen phone calls. We won't cut you off if you disagree. We welcome you, agree or disagree, criticizing me or the show, any of it. Like I said, we will not cut you off. Want to hear from you. 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480, the phone number to participate. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Now, I've got no problem with trash talk or any of that. Basketball, my God, NBA, are you kidding me? College hoops, men and women, lots of trash talk going on the court. Afterwards, it's supposed to be sort of put aside and, you know, in most cases, congratulate the other team. Get in the line afterwards and shake hands and say congratulations. When you see All-American players like Angel Reece and Caitlin Clark, you want them to hug each other and respect and appreciate each other. Kim Mulkey, championship coach, afterwards was what pulled Caitlin Clark aside during the little, handshake line and said a few lines to her. Caitlin Clark said it was all complimentary. I love Angel Reece, but I think Angel Reece went a little too far, and kind of concerned about Angel Reece and not the LSU team as a whole, at least at that very moment, about her more than the team. And now that's the big topic. Angel Reece's antics are overshadowing LSU's national championship win and overshadowing the teammates that got the job done for LSU. Love to hear from you, 766-9480. And then the generalizations roll in. No, because sadly, you have white and black folks that can't get over race. That they inject race in everything if it applies or not. It is an easy landing pad. It is Excuseville, USA. It's sickening. It's sad. It's tiring. Not for a moment. I'm an LSU fan cheering on a team that is 90% black female players. I could care less. Iowa, the starting five, most of the bench, white players. I'm white. I'm not rooting for Iowa for a minute. The exact opposite. I'm rooting for my team, LSU. If you could hook some kind of health meter on me during Iowa's comeback in the second half when they narrowed that, 21-point lead down to 7, I think. I wasn't too healthy at that time. I was sick and nauseated at that time because my team, the incidental, they happened to be all black, was beating the other team, incidental, that happened to be all white. I'm for LSU, not Iowa. When Angel Reece did those antics at the end with the hand and the finger pointing and all that, I was like, no. You're representing LSU. You're representing yourself. You're winning the national championship. Act like it. Why would you, rib the other opponent at that point? Why would you crunch them at that point? I was like, boy, that's just sort of classless, petty, a lack of sportsmanship, almost insecurity. And then I'm like, Angel Reece is 20 years old. She's very opinionated, kind of thinks she knows everything. I'm in my mid-50s. I don't know everything. My mom's 92, doesn't know everything. Life is a continuing growth process. Anyone who's like, I've learned enough, I don't want to know anymore, I don't know. Those people are fairly tiring. A lot of folks, as they get older, just want to be set in their ways and don't want to think of anything else. Don't want to be challenged. Don't want to learn something new. I think it's this, and I don't want to be told otherwise. And you're inconveniencing me with this fact thing, with the truth. No, love Angel Reece. Still love her today. Proud of her and the LSU Lady Tigers winning the national championship. Just a great story. But the bigger story nationally is Angel Reece and her antics at the end of the game yesterday, which I just think lacked sportsmanship and weren't very classy, and it's beyond sports talk. And all this, hey, Caitlin Clark did it, and she's white, no one said anything. Angel Reece is black, and now she's getting criticized. It's like, my God, when does this crap stop? Now, sadly, there are white racist folks that can't help themselves. They look at things through a racist lens. And there are black folks that always fall back on race, instead of, I don't know, maybe look in the mirror and you screwed up. It's like the waiter syndrome. Rarely when a waiter gets stiff do they go in the back and go, yeah, let me have a little introspection. Maybe I didn't do such a good job at table 9, and that's why they stiffed me. It's always, table 9's a bunch of cheapskates. They stiffed me. No, maybe you didn't do a good job. Maybe it's just you and has nothing to do with you being black. Now, that would suck, being a black person that always uses that as an excuse. And there are a lot of people, it can be black, it can be male, female, white in a black environment, black in a white environment, white or black male in a female environment, whatever, excuse making. I didn't get it because they were against me. I don't know, maybe just have a little introspection, maybe separate yourself from everything else and look at yourself, and maybe what you're saying is true, maybe it's not true at all. Are there a lot of white folks that are racist? I don't know a lot, but yeah, there's a measurable percentage of white folks that are racist, sad, in 2023. Are there a lot of black folks that use race as an excuse? Maybe not a lot, but a large enough percentage where it's sad in 2023. But right away, the majority of black folks voicing their opinion, the squeaky wheels are like, hey, it's okay to, when Caitlin Clark does it, it's not okay when Angel Reece does it. I wasn't thinking about Caitlin Clark doing anything at all. As an LSU fan, I'm watching Angel Reece, and that's all there was to it. Wasn't thinking race or anything. Thinking about the girls' team, the team I love to watch, a fan of that team, fan of Angel Reece doing that. That was just, I thought, unsavory. Not just kind of petty, classless, not a lot of sportsmanship, not about, you can't just wave it off as, oh, it's trash talk. Or, hey, Caitlin, Clark did it. And by the way, just because Caitlin Clark did it, Angel Reece did it, it's what time did they do it? Who are they doing it to? Angel Reece is following Caitlin Clark around for like 10 or 15 seconds. Celebrate the win with your team. And I just thought it was selfish. I thought Angel Reece was thinking about Angel Reece instead of her LSU team, the Lady Tigers, and what they just accomplished. But boy, on social media, it is just hate-filled, just folks just spewing this black-white thing and contradictions at the highest level. Like, it has to be that, and there's nothing else. And Caitlin Clark doing it and Angel Reece doing it, they're the exact same thing, but just opposites because of color. And they're not. They're not. Now, after the fact, you can sit there and go, see, I told you so. But like George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin, right away, the squeaky wheels going with the generalizations. Extreme black folks saying that Trayvon Martin was right, and it's this white guy who was wrong, and he shot and killed Trayvon Martin, who was just getting Skittles and a drink in the neighborhood. And then the extreme squeaky wheel white folks, George Zimmerman was right, and this black kid shouldn't have been in the neighborhood. Just everyone pouncing on these generalizations, the extreme squeaky wheels, those everyone's. Not knowing any of the facts at all. Not knowing any of the facts. No, it's just how it is. So that impulse by white folks and black folks on the extreme side, the squeaky wheels that can't get race out of their minds, that they don't look at the facts, they immediately fall back on that crutch of race. That happens a lot with the squeaky wheels. They go with the generalizations. They go with the assumptions. They don't know any of the facts, and they're already assuming and pouncing on it with a vengeance. No, social media is just blowing up. Twitter is blowing up with this black, white, white people are critical, black folks aren't, black folks are justifying it, white folks aren't. Caitlin Clark did it. It's the exact equal and opposite. And it's not the exact equal and opposite. It's different situations that need to be viewed individually. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. Love to hear from you. Corey Johnson with you on the neutral ground. 93.9 FM. Oh, so fine. 93.9. We're also on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. 600 AM from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida. We're on TV till 5:30. Cox Channel 4 television all over Louisiana. Spectrum Channel 333 television all over Louisiana. Live streaming on our website, CareTalks.com. We're on YouTube right now, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480.
Hey guys, it's Frank Smith from LasVegasGambling.com with your weekend 5-star lock of the week. Lock of the week, lock of the week. Take the Lakers and the points over the Clippers. Sell the house, sell the boat, sell your children. Send grandma away and take the money. Put everything you've got on this 5-star selection. It's the Lakers over the Clippers. And we've also got a fantastic 5-star parlay as well. Call us now, 888-555-7777. It's Frank Smith, a.k.a. The Hammer, from LasVegasGambling.com. Do it now, now, now.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning's been with you 83 years, a New Orleans institution since 1940. They know what they're doing. If you're tired of your dry cleaner and looking to experience the best, youngsdrycleaning.com. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery. Young's Express, that's their manless locker locations throughout the metro area. Dozens and dozens and dozens of manless locker locations from Young's. Drop off your dirty stuff in a safe, secure Young's locker. 2 short days later, pick it all up, perfectly dry clean. To find out more, youngsdrycleaning.com. 4 o'clock hour on a Monday. Feels like nearly 90. Thank goodness, a little cloud cover every now and then, and also a breeze that isn't hot like summertime when the wind's just hot. So, but still, 85 feels like 88. Ouch. LSU Lady Tigers national champs. Unbelievable. Just year 2 of the Kim Mulkey era, and it's already paying off. She's earning her $2+ million a year in salary. She's earning those 6-figure bonuses, making the Final Four, winning the national title. 1 returning starter, 9 newcomers. And LSU wins the national title against a tough, gritty Iowa team. And Caitlin Clark's like, I mean, she is unbelievable. Reminds me of like a Steph Curry. Just jacks it up from all over the court. Like Steph Curry, he crosses half court, especially crosses the half court circle. You better be on him because he will jack it up in your face and it'll be all net. Caitlin Clark does the exact same thing. She comes in from half court, gets right past the half court circle, and she will jack it up. I've never seen a women's basketball player. I don't know if I've seen a college male player that jacks up threes like Caitlin Clark does and the success rate she has. I think Caitlin Clark could play on some men's college basketball teams the way she shoots like Steph Curry. That would be the number 1 comparison for Caitlin Clark, Steph Curry. Oh, my God, Caitlin Clark's a white female and Steph Curry's a black male. Can I make that comparison? Or it has to be a white female or a white male at the very least. Oh, my God, Angel Reece is black. What she did at the end of the game, I'm being critical because she's black, or I'm being critical just because I didn't like it and I thought it was kind of classless. And now it's a bigger story than LSU's team winning the national championship, because Angel Reece's antics at the end of the game were all about Angel Reece. She wasn't thinking about LSU. She wasn't thinking about the Lady Tigers, wasn't thinking about the national championship, wasn't thinking about her team, was thinking about herself and Caitlin Clark. And boy, nationally, the squeaky wheels. Yeah, Caitlin Clark can do this, but Angel Reece does it. It must be a black-white thing. And sadly, with white people that are racist, I'm sure that's not the best source to look at when they're being critical. But black folks that imply race all the time? I better not say the boy who cried wolf because, gosh, Corey, were you saying boy about black people? But it is the boy who cried wolf syndrome. There's a reason Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, and I'm not anti-Jesse or Al Sharpton like a lot of white people. Like, they're evil, they're anti-American. I think the opposite. Part of the civil rights movement, part of the fabric of America, if you like them or not. But why they don't have a sterling reputation when it comes to calling out race? Because they call it out all the time, when it is there or not. Like Crump, that attorney, calls it out no matter what. And the sinful part of that, there's real racism going on. Black folks that are being abused because of race, being treated unfairly, being pulled over by police. That is a reality. And you don't want to water that down by pulling that race card when it isn't applicable. I remember a few years ago, a cop shot this black girl who was about to thump the knife into another black girl. That ended real quickly, about as quickly as Spike Lee saying they blew up the levees to flood the poor neighborhoods in New Orleans, when he quickly got information that, wow, Lakeview, 50% of the tax base, 95% white, they got flooded out too. Floodwaters don't discriminate in New Orleans. They go to the lowest lying area and they flood it severely. No, folks want to pounce on race quickly. They want to assume, they want to go to that immediate comfort zone for folks that are black, that inject race into everything, and white folks that are racist and inject race into everything. I brought up the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman example. I didn't know a damn thing. No one knew a damn thing. And you already had black and white folks with definitive opinions. White folks saying Zimmerman was justified, black folks saying Trayvon Martin was wrong, and no one knew anything. No one knew a thing. And then you have the black folks that assumed, see, told you I was right. What about Mike Brown, Big Michael Brown? Wrong about that. Was no hands up, don't shoot, trying to pull the cop out the car. I mean, you had Barack Obama, a black attorney general that over and over and over again tried to see if anything was done wrong, if there was an injustice. And you had black folks, look at the transcripts of the interviews, the investigation. Black folks going, no, Big Mike Brown was trying to pull him out the car. No, the cop told him to stop a bunch of times. So, I mean, it's these generalizations, you have to wait for the facts. So black and white folks that are on the extreme, that inject race into everything, when they don't know any facts, are wrong a lot of the time. And again, I can't stress enough, I'm a white heterosexual male. I acknowledge the skids are greased for me, but I have empathy. Fairness and objectivity is one of my strengths on this show. The best compliments I get as a native New Orleanian doing the show are from black people that tell me, Corey, love the show, love what you do, don't always agree with you, but you're fair, man. You tell it like it is. You don't pick sides. You look at the facts. That's my strength. I was raised right by parents that never dropped the N-bomb, or women are inferior, or the Jew this, or the Italian that, or the Irish guy that. None of that, ever. I was fortunate, raised right, brothers and sisters that think the same way. I take my friends that are black and white to task when they come up with generalizations. Why would you say that? What are you basing that on? No, that's just maybe how you feel, but I don't think that's right. I take them to task when they come up with that stuff. And any old friend that keeps embracing it, they quickly become acquaintances instead of friends. And then some of them I don't even associate with if they just can't let race go and go with these generalizations over and over and over again. I simply watched a basketball game as a fan of the LSU Lady Tigers, of a fan of Angel Reece, and I don't want to say disgusted, that's a little strong, but was disappointed, was saddened. was like, why are you doing that, Angel Reece? That's not classy. That's not showing sportsmanship. You're an All-American. Caitlin Clark's an All-American. I didn't get it. Still don't get it. And I think the excuse, like, she waved off South Carolina. I mean, I think a lot of that was shoot it because you're not strong outside shooter. I don't need to guard you. Please shoot up the three. Chances are you're going to miss, and we have a chance of getting a rebound. And I'm not trying to justify her actions, but she wasn't following another player around for 10, 15 seconds, wasn't walking up to the game in front of the Iowa fans with the phone, flipping the bird like Angel Reece was doing. Have you seen that photo? Just not classy, not right. That's not what you want out of your All-American player. And I love that Angel Reece is flamboyant and opinionated and all over social media. Bayou Barbie, I'm all into that. Love it. Love it. Who do you think came up with that? Go to an LSU game. The majority of the fans are clearly white. Go to the south end zone of a football game. It's a handful of black folks and 99% white in the south end zone at Tiger Stadium. Women's basketball, all black team essentially, maybe a couple of white players that never see the court. The majority of fans, 90% are white. Where did Bayou Barbie come from? White folks came up with Bayou Barbie. It's 2023. Most people, black and white, are righteous people. And they only bring in race when the facts lead them to that. They don't assume. When I saw Angel Reece doing that, I wasn't thinking about Caitlin Clark being white. Didn't think about Caitlin Clark doing anything. And Angel Reece saying I had to stand up for South Carolina, an SEC team, what she did to them. It's a bunch of nonsense. Angel Reece just didn't like Caitlin Clark for whatever reason. And I don't think she didn't like Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark was white. I just thought it was classless, petty, didn't show sportsmanship.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
At Helm Paint, we go the extra mile with free delivery anywhere in the metro area. In the middle of a job and short on paint? Call us and we'll come to you.
Short on time? Call in your order and pick it up in the drive-thru at our Earhart Boulevard location.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full of part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here, and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring, and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Milwaukee Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Yeah, you right. Boy, social media is just blowing up with this. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. There's more talk about Angel Reece's antics than LSU winning the national championship game. If I were one of the players, one of Angel Reece's teammates, I mean, there's nothing you can say now because it's done. But I'd kind of be bummed like, boy, Angel, I guess it was about you and not the team, because what you did has put more of a spotlight on you, made you more of a social media star. You'll probably have more NIL money, and us winning the national championship is secondary to your antics late in the ball game. I don't know I can stress this anymore. I love Angel Reece, love the Lady Tigers, enjoyed yesterday so much. Anyone that thinks race is involved with me, two things I would say: you don't know me or this program in my history in this city, New Orleans, and two, you weren't with me during the game yesterday when Iowa cut LSU's 21-point lead to 7, and I was like physically getting ill. So to think I was for Caitlin Clark or Iowa is insane. I was for the LSU Lady Tigers, was relieved when they stopped that run Iowa was making and started their own run and stretched the lead back up. Loved it. Loved it. Love the victory. Love Angel Reece. Glad that she's like, I make more money in college with NIL than I will going to the WNBA. I'm coming back next year. Love that. Thank goodness she's an All-American, one of the top 3 to 5 best players in the women's college game. Love Angel Reece. Just did not like what she did at the end of the game. And it's 2 All-Americans there in Caitlin Clark and Angel Reece. You'd like to see Angel Reece and Caitlin Clark after a hyper-competitive game where they're going after each other's throats, hug and congratulate each other and have mutual respect for each other, even with all the trash talking and whatever. Just like Kim Mulkey. During the 40 minutes of that game, Kim Mulkey didn't like Caitlin Clark. But after the game, she hugged Caitlin Clark and told her some inspiring stuff and, praised her and acknowledged her greatness. That's all. As an LSU fan of that team, I was disappointed in Angel Reese's, kind of braggadocious, lack of sportsmanship, pettiness, lack of class in that moment. And now, because of social media, where it's like a kazoo, anyone can play. No talent required. It is blown up. And it's all race-based. A lot of it is race-based. It's sad. A lot of white folks that apparently have racist hate in their hearts, they're all over Angel Reece for all the wrong reasons. And a lot of black folks that use the excuses race all the time are pro Angel Reece and comparing it to Caitlin Clark like they're the exact same thing. Showing a picture of Caitlin Clark with her hand in front of her face, showing a picture of Angel Reece with a hand in front of her face. It's the exact same thing. Doesn't matter that one was a national title game at the very end and Angel Reece was following Caitlin Clark around for like 15 seconds doing it. No, it's only race, and that's it in a nutshell. It's black and white, 110%. Just sickening. Really is. I'm watching the game as an LSU fan, as an Angel Reece fan, loving the moment, and then going, no, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Don't do that. Go celebrate with your team. Enjoy it. Don't have the ugliness of the clock winding down, you're winning a national championship. I mean, the confetti's about to pour out of the ceiling, and you're pointing at your ring finger and sticking your hand in front of your face. Angel Reece was right afterwards. I was, in my element. Her other comments about me. It was about Angel Reece at that moment. It was all about Angel Reece and not her team winning the national championship. It was all about Angel Reece. And right now, Angel Reece and her antics, a bigger story than her team winning the friggin' national championship. So someone explain that to me. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. Love to hear from you. We don't screen calls. We don't cut you off if we disagree. There's just a few moments where you could get cut off. At the top of the hour, coming up in about a minute. At 16 after the hour, when that break train comes down the tracks and there's no way to get out of the way. 16 after, 32 after, 48 after the hour. Those are the only times you would ever get cut off calling this program if you disagree. Now, if we get into some circular argument where we're just going back and forth, and with me, since I don't cut you off, it could go on 3-4 minutes, I might go, okay, enough's enough. We're just getting nowhere. And nothing I hate worse than we agree to disagree, that comment. But when it kind of falls into that category, yeah, enough's enough. Hey, something we all can agree on. It is crawfish season. Rouse's Markets. I was at the Ferret Rouse's last night in between Jefferson and Napoleon. Each and every Rouse's, they're boiling crawfish all day long. And Rouse's has crawfish live by the sack. So you can bring them home and boil them yourself, or you can get them hot from the pot, ready to eat all day long. Hot from the pot, ready to eat, or live from the sack, boil them at home. Rouse's truly is your crawfish headquarters. What, Blue Boy? Best quality, best price, best selection. Tastes like home. You're right on the money, Blue Boy. It's crawfish season. Rouse's Markets has you covered. 5 o'clock power hour next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 5 p.m.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria. Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
Native son, great New Orleans. No, that's me.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
New Orleans native son. No, that's me. That's me, lady.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
New Orleans City Councilman Freddie King joins us.
So I want to first say thanks for having me. And believe it or not, man, I used to listen to your show all the time driving home. So it's an honor to be on.
Freddie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the program. Thanks.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here, and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring, and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance. maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Well, we're moving on now to the side.
Yes. Is this the theme song for the LSU Lady Tigers? They have officially moved on up. 9 wins just 2 seasons ago. 60-8 since then. 1 returning starter from last year's 26-6 team. 9 newcomers. And now they're national champions. Unbelievable. Alexis Morris, unbelievable. She was amazing down the stretch when it was needed. What a story about her, too. We'll talk a little bit more about the X's and O's, like a sports talk program, coming up in about 30 minutes or so, the bottom half of the hour. Another Martel Monday. Brett Martel joins us every Monday to talk Saints and Pelicans, LSU, Tulane, whatever in the world of sports. From the AP sports writer who's been at it for over 25 years. Another Martel Monday with Brett Martel, about 30 minutes or so away, right here on the neutral ground. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way. Thanks for checking us out. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. You can check us out on TV until 5:30. Cox Channel 4 statewide. Spectrum Channel 333 statewide. Live streaming, CareTalks.com. Take the show with you to the gym, the hunting blind, wherever you're going. CareTalks.com. We're on YouTube right now, our fledgling YouTube channel, trying to build that up. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, go to the little search bar, put in Neutral Ground, Corey Johnson. Kaboom goes the dynamite. Corey spelled Kaare. Neutral Ground, Corey Johnson on YouTube, live every afternoon. When I get Kim Mulkey on the program in the next few days, I guarantee you I will ask her about Angel Reese's antics at the end of the ball game. Sadly, that is a bigger story, not only on social media, ESPN.com, wherever you check out sports. Angel Reese's antics with the hand in the face, the pointing on the ring finger to Caitlin Clark while the final seconds of yesterday's national championship game were winding down. A bigger story than the LSU Lady Tigers as a team winning the national championship. And to me, I mean, it's social media, like I said last hour, like a kazoo, anyone can play, no talent required. It's just blown up. It's typical. And sadly, the squeaky wheels, and it's professionals that, give opinions and commentary for a living, falling on racial lines. It's sickening. It's sickening. Why can't more people just be righteous people? Why do white people need to be racist, and why do black people need to use race as an excuse every opportunity possible? No, there's the squeaky wheels on both sides. I'm not talking about most white people and most black folks. Most folks are just like me, try to be fair, objective, have empathy, understanding. Hey, let's wait for the facts to come out and go there. But so many white folks and so many black folks love the generalizations, love to assume, and automatically it's a race thing. Automatically it's a race thing. And that's just sad and pathetic. It really is. I'm an LSU fan watching my team, LSU class of 91, rooting for Kim Mulkey and the Lady Tigers yesterday, watching that game on TV. Not for a minute was I'm like, wow, my team's all black. And the Iowa team's all white. And I'm rooting for the black girls. I'm rooting for LSU. They could have been all white, all black, mixed, whatever. I don't care about any of that. I know I'm against Iowa because they were the opposition. Wasn't for them because they were all white, could have been all black. Irrelevant to me. Was rooting for LSU, rooting for the team I love, the players I love, like Angel Reece, the Bayou Barbie. Love all of that. Love that Kim Mulkey was able to get her to come in from Maryland, transfer from her home state to LSU, fired up about the national championship. LSU athletics, I mean, baseball's number one. Gymnastics are, top 5. Women's track and field, number 1. Men, number 2. I mean, it's unbelievable. Go back to football and the 2-point conversion against Alabama. Brian Kelly turning a program that was on its, last leg, a dying football program. Turned it totally around. Total resuscitation. Now I can go on and on about LSU athletics. As good as any program by program in the country, facilities, fans, teams, coaches, everything. Top notch, as good as it gets. And the LSU Lady Tigers in year 2 of Kim Mulkey, one returning starter, Alexis Morris, who performed in the fourth quarter, carried LSU in the fourth quarter. 9 newcomers, getting them all to mesh together and play as a team, and they won the national championship. Incredible, awesome, off the charts. As the final few seconds ticked off the clock, I just saw Angel Reece and the hand in the face thing. Can you see me now? The pointing to the ring finger. And I was sickened would be too strong of a word. Disappointed, bummed out, lack of sportsmanship, lack of class, kind of petty, all about Angel Reece, not about her team that's seconds away from the clock buzzer going off and you're national champs. And that story is bigger today in the world of sports than LSU's team winning the national championship. And there's something fundamentally wrong about that. And it isn't about, hey, if you're bragging and you do it, it's not bragging, Trash talk is one thing. Just a little different. A lot different. Just a bummer. No, and I love Angel Reece. And I'm not for Iowa. And it has nothing at all with me to do with race. Sadly, white folks that are racist, you bet they only look at one thing. They saw Angel Reece as a black female athlete and they pounced on it. And then black folks that use race as an excuse anytime they can, injected race into it. Oh, wow, Caitlin Clark did it, and you don't say anything, like they're equal. Caitlin Clark, you can have a photo of Caitlin Clark with Can You See Me Now, and Angel Reece, and that's enough where everyone's like, that's equal. And it's different situations, different scenarios, different parts of different games, different facts involved. And that's important that you analyze it, not just take a screenshot of Caitlin Clark with the Can You See Me Now and Angel Reece with the Can You See Me Now, and it's the same. Angel Reece followed Caitlin Clark around for 15 seconds. About a minute before that, at the free throw line, was pointing at her ring finger when the game was, ensured where LSU was going to win. Angel Reece turned her back to Caitlin Clark on the free throw line, facing the board instead of her. Not to box her out, to I'm ignoring you. And then Angel Reece, walking into the game in front of the Iowa fans, had her phone up by her ear and was flipping off the Iowa fans, the bird finger up while gripping the phone with the fingers on either side of the bird finger. Just not classy, not sportsmanship, not right. Not right. I'll never agree with that. That's not bragging or trash talking. That's just not right. Not what you'd expect from your all-American star player that I love, the Bayou Barbie. I love all that. Glad she's big on social media. Glad she makes a ton of money NIL. She said, I make more money with NIL in college that I'm coming back to LSU next year. I'm not going to the WNBA because I'll make more money in college. And it's true. More endorsements for a college athlete in the ladies' game than the WNBA. More viewership, more fans in the stands, more of everything. The WNBA will be her professional career. She'll be glad to have it. She'll make money and endorsements, but it'll be a step down monetarily, at least in the beginning, for Angel Reece, who makes a ton of money right now as an LSU student athlete. Love to hear your take on this. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. We won't cut you off. 766-9480. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe, under the green awning, outdoor dining. While you can get away with it summer, we're on the brink of it. Lebanon's Cafe, they'll be closed tomorrow, Wednesday through Monday. They're open till 9:30. Go experience some of the city's finest Middle Eastern food tonight for dinner. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. Corey Johnson with you till 6.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe, in the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you, right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock powwow. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. You know, when it's her anniversary or birthday, your anniversary with her, her birthday, holiday season, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. When you're getting her a diamond purchase, don't make the mistake and go to one of these so-called diamond stores in town that are peddling these man-made, 3-week-old lab-created diamonds. China is flooding the United States market with these lab-created diamonds that only go down in value. I mean, if you're trying to be, a cheapskate to get away with something, to fool her, what kind of relationship do you have with your best friend, the person you love more than anyone, your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other? Take care of her. Treat her right. Get her real diamonds, natural diamonds that are 1 billion with a B, years old, not 3 weeks old, not lab created, not man-made. Get her the real deal that appreciate in value because you appreciate her, you love her. It's a lifetime purchase. Why would you skimp on something like that and get her an inferior product that depreciates in value? Honestly, ask yourself, what are you getting away with? Nothing. Nothing. You're selling out your significant other with an inferior, essentially fake diamond purchase. These so-called diamond stores, that's what they're pushing. That's what they're peddling because they make huge profits off of it. And they're not concerned about you and quality and a lifetime purchase. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, they've been at it 50 years. Ken Friend's been at it for over 40. His family business. Diamond tennis bracelets, diamond necklaces, diamond stud earrings. And New Orleanians that know Friend and Company Fine Jewelers when it comes to engagement rings, wedding bands. Real diamonds, natural diamonds. Don't get fooled. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Corey Johnson with you, 5 o'clock powwow on a Monday afternoon. It feels like almost 90 right now. Mid to high 80s, temperature about 84 degrees, 70s and 80s all week. We might see some 60s and 70s this weekend. There's a shot we might dip into the 50s, mid to high 50s when you wake up in the morning for a couple of days next week. Let's hope those weather predictors, a.k.a. meteorologists, are right on that. We could use some, mid to high 50s a few times, some mosquito-killing weather. Because we all know what's coming up next living down here. The heat and humidity of summer. The heat and humidity of summer. How ironical. You ready for this one? Lee Zurich's birthday is today from Fox 8. Mayor LaToya Cantrell's birthday is today. Isn't that amazing? Lee Zurich and Mayor Cantrell share a birthday, and supposedly they're getting together and having a party. Not at all. Willie Fritz, the Tulane head coach, his birthday's today too. But I just find it ironical that Fox 8 investigative reporter Lee Zurich, Peabody Award winner, doing his job to the fullest, and Mayor Cantrell doing her job to the least fullest, share the same birthday, whatever, a 1 in 365 chance, I guess. Lee Zurich, Mayor Cantrell, happy B-Day. Another lap around the sun. Congrats. Crazy, huh? It's Masters Week at Augusta. I don't know about you. You don't have to love golf. I love golf. I don't watch PGA tournaments every week. Not at all. I watch the 4 majors and not like every day, all day long, just little snippets here and there. I might key in on the weekend, especially on Sunday. Love the U.S. Open because it's not country club golf where the winner's 25 under. Sometimes they're getting their rear end handed to them. 3-putt city, can't get out of the trap, can't find their ball. A pro tournament lost ball that's unheard of. Not at the U.S. Open when the rough can be, inches tall and gnarly and thick. No, it's Masters Week at Augusta. Some compelling storylines. Tiger Woods playing. That's always good. LIV golfers playing. Not a big fan of those clowns. And maybe some bad weather this weekend at Augusta. I hope not. That kind of wrecks the party. The Pels are on fire. Brandon Ingram's on fire. Brett Martell's going to join us in about 15 minutes or less. Another Martel Monday with Brett. LSU Lady Tigers, national champions. Just year 2 of the Kim Mulkey era. Scott Woodward, the athletic director, has done a pretty damn good job, huh? Jay Johnson, baseball coach. Brian Kelly, football coach. Kim Mulkey, women's head basketball coach, paying her $2 million plus a year. She takes over a team 2 years ago that had 9 wins. They go 26-6 last year. 26-6. 1 returning starter this year. She brings in 9 newcomers. And that team meshes and wins the national title. She is 60-8. 60 wins, 8 losses in her 2 seasons at LSU, and national champions already. One thing you got to say about Kim Mulkey as a player at La Tech, as an assistant coach at La Tech, as the head coach at Baylor, and now the head coach at LSU, she is insanely, ridiculously familiar with Final Fours and winning national championships. She did it as a La Tech player. She did it as an assistant coach at La Tech. She did it as a head coach at Baylor, and now she's done it as LSU's head coach. National champions, the LSU Lady Tigers. Amazing. We'll visit with Brett Martel and talk about that. Something that's kind of a bummer, Angel Reese's antics at the end of yesterday's game. It wasn't about bragging. It wasn't about, Caitlin Clark did it, and now Angel Reece is doing it. I'm looking at it in a vacuum as an LSU fan rooting on my LSU Lady Tigers basketball team, and a player I love, their All-American Angel Reece, didn't show the most class leading into this. The bird finger holding up the phone, walking by the Iowa fans. A minute to go when the game seemed, totally LSU's game, at the foul line, pointing to the ring finger to Caitlin Clark and then turning her back to her, ignoring her. I don't know. Just a total lack of sportsmanship down the stretch, lack of class, thought it was petty. Angel Reece is huge on social media. It's blowing up. Her NIL is huge. She makes a lot of money. And I'm glad for her. I love Angel Reece. I just thought those maneuvers at the end of the game weren't very classy, petty, showed a lack of sportsmanship. I thought she could have done better than that on a lot of her actions late. It didn't sicken me, but it bummed me out. I just thought it was disrespectful. I thought she could be better than that. You're All-American. And now Angel Reese's antics are a bigger story than the LSU Lady Tigers, than her team winning the national championship. If she meant it to be that way or not, that's the outcome of her actions. Her antics on social media and every sports outlet That's the bigger story than LSU's Lady Tigers winning the national championship. Her antics have one-upped her team winning it all. Hey, TV audience, see you tomorrow, straight up 4 o'clock on radio. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. KaareTalks.com live streaming. On YouTube, we roll till 6 p.m. Brett Martel just a few minutes ago. On all those outlets, we do it every day from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. River City's Total Maintenance. That's Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys. Air conditioning experts that come immediately. What more do you need? Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. That's what you get with River City's Total Maintenance. Probably the biggest AC and heating operation in Metro New Orleans. They've been doing it in South Louisiana for over 40 years. They have a sterling reputation. You can find them online, nolaac.com, nolaac.com. 841-3300 is how you dial them up. 841-3300. I don't know about you, but as you get older, experience, you like having an ace in the hole. You don't, I was going to say you use the yellow pages. Do those still exist? You got to get on the internet device to find an AC or heating company. That's probably going to be trouble. It's like an auto mechanic, a doctor, a vet for your animals, where you get a haircut, whatever. You want an ace in the hole, experience in the good, experience in the bad, funneling it down, narrowing it down to the best. I did that about 15 years ago. Stop bouncing around from different AC companies. Now I go with the best. Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys at River City's Total Maintenance. NOLAAC.com. That's how you find them online, NOLAAC.com. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. On this Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour, Corey Johnson with you. LSU Lady Tigers, national champions. Absolutely amazing. Like I said earlier, we'll visit with Brett Martel in a few minutes from the AP. Talk about that. The Pels on fire as they try to ideally get out of the play-in game, which is good enough. Glad it looks like they're a lock for the play-in game. They still could, you lose out, they could be out of the play-in game, but they win out, they control their own destiny and wouldn't have to be in the play-in game. They'd be the 6th seed, which would be fantastic. Basically, instead of the top 8 going to the playoffs, which is still the case, the quote playoffs, there are 2 play-in teams, the 9 and the 10 seed. The 7 plays the 10, the 8 plays the 9. Those 2 winners become your 7th and 8th seed. Then the official playoffs begin. It would be nice to avoid what the Pelicans had to do last year and be in that play-in game. Now, play-in game's better than nothing at all, being that 11th, 12th on down, 15th seed. But ideally a 6th seed and not having to participate in the play-in game. Ideally get Zion Williamson back. Who knows if he's coming back or not. But Brandon Ingram, my God, what he's been doing the last dozen games or so is off the charts. Brett Martel will join us to talk about that, some Masters, some Saints, and, of course, the LSU Lady Tigers. Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. I am a creature of habit, I have to admit. I like winners. I like consistency. I like, in New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat. And rarely, if ever, do I just settle on lunch or dinner. I mean, you're only doing it a couple of times a day. Might as well get something good. I got to pay for it. Might as well cook something, make something, or go get something good. So when I find something good, I stick with it. Some of the best red beans and rice on a Monday in Metro New Orleans, Fausto's Italian Bistro. You're like, Corey, how does Fausto's have red beans? Well, first off, it's pretty much the only non-Sicilian or Italian thing on the menu. But then I even bring in the Sicilian and Italian flavor with a little panade chicken breast with the Italian seasoning, Italian breadcrumbs, crispy, thin, wonderful. But Fausto grew up in the Italian part of the French Quarter 50, 60 years ago. Monday was wash day, red beans and rice. It's that original recipe, which who knows how many generations back before Fausto was there 50, 60 years ago, they were using that exact recipe. Fausto's Italian Bistro embraces that wonderful red beans and rice recipe. And that's one of their lunch specials on Monday. Monday through Friday, lunch, 11 to 2:30. Dinner, Monday through Saturday night, Monday through Thursday till 9, like tonight, 5 to 9. Friday and Saturday night till 10 p.m. Yeah, go experience some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian like I do. I'm in there at least once a week. I'd say most weeks, probably 2 times a week, 6, 7 times a month on average. Fausto's Italian Bistro and Vets, it's that good. I'd say 3 Mondays a month, I'm there for the red beans and rice. At least another 3 times a month, I'm there for dinner. I love the pesce limone. I love the veal piccata, the best veal piccata I've ever had in my life. And I've had it in New York, Italian-inspired restaurants with a bunch of Italians from Italy running it. Really good, some very good, some excellent, but not as good as Fausto's veal piccata. Get a little fettuccine Alfredo on the side. Wow, is that good? Fausto's Italian Bistro and Vets, just absolutely wonderful. Angel Reese's Antics, I think they were wrong. I think they were selfish, taking away from the title game as much, really more attention on this than the win. And who cares what Caitlin Clark did? That's just excuse making. Is Angel Reece the equalizer? I didn't like what they did to South Carolina. Your SEC foe, your rival, just nonsense. Yeah, bummed me out as a fan. I love her, but I thought it was kind of classic. I thought she should have been better. Should have been better. That's all. Still love Angel Reece. Glad she's coming back, defending national champs. I'll be rooting for the Bayou Barbie. I just didn't like the bird finger holding the cell phone. Didn't think that was cute in front of the Iowa fans coming off the bus. Didn't think turning her back to the Iowa player, Caitlin Clark, the All-American, one of the best in the game, like Angel Reece, turning her back to her at the foul line, pointing her hand at the ring finger at the foul line. And then as the last 8-10 seconds of the clock winding down, following Caitlin Clark around for like 15 seconds with the "can you see me now" hand in the face and pointing the ring finger. Did not like it. That wasn't bragging. That wasn't trash talk. That was definitely something different. Definitely something different. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. When we return, Brett Martel from the Associated Press joins us. I was in the Earhart location of Helm Paint and Decorating. I got a little paint project I got to knock out. Why would you go anywhere else? 50-plus years in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. They got you covered, 7 locations. Plus, free 2-hour delivery anywhere in Metro New Orleans. You can pick your colors, get all your supplies, do it online. Benjamin Moore high-quality products. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, do it once, do it right. They will steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Hi, everyone. It's Tommy Wrong for AsbestosMoneyGrab.com. This is not, I repeat, not for folks with real asbestos problems. But if you're like me and were maybe taking a shop class in high school where you maybe breathed in some brake dust and you know for certain you're fine, but you're the type of person that takes advantage of these types of situations, get tested, lawyer up, and steal some money like me. Go to I'm not really hurt at all, but like exploiting the system for free cash.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City. Corey Johnson back at you. Why aren't you at Katie's right now in Mid-City? Dinner cranking up as we speak at Katie's. They're open throughout the day, lunch, dinner, 7 days a week. A great wind down after work spot. Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. The Katie's of Harahan, bienvenue. Bringing a little of that Mid-City Katie's flavor to Hickory Avenue. And don't forget about Francesca Deli and Pizzeria in Lakeview. About 15 different deli specialty sandwiches to choose from, or make your own. A real deli in the old Charlie's Deli location on Harrison Avenue in between Canal Boulevard and West End Boulevard. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria. Bienvenue, the Katie's of Harahan and Katie's in Mid-City. Yeah, you right. Brett Martel from the Associated Press joins us again. Another Martel Monday. How you doing, Brett?
I'm great, Corey. How are you?
Doing well. Brett, you're pretty much a pure reporter, not a columnist, not a lot of opinion pieces, pretty much just the facts, ma'am. You've been doing it for over 25 years with the Associated Press. You're welcome to give an opinion on this if you like. You don't have to. But one thing I think, since it's about the facts, Angel Reese's, I'm calling them Antics, at the end of the game yesterday, that's a bigger story, not only on social media, but just about every sports outlet. That's getting more coverage than LSU's team winning the national championship. Would you agree?
I think it's it's creating more buzz and more conversation. I don't know, like, obviously it's not necessarily a bigger story, but it's, I don't know. Well, it's not, yeah, I mean, you could call it a bigger story, I suppose. People are talking about it a lot, you know. I mean, she's a very good, they're both two great players. Angel Reece is a very good, charismatic player.
Yep.
And what she did, I think, was bound to rub some people the wrong way, especially if they did not understand the context. And so that was going to spark debate over it. And anything that is contentious tends to be talked about more than, I mean, the LSU won by 17 points or something like that. So the final score wasn't very, how the game ended wasn't very contentious, so. I mean, it's kind of like when the Rams, advanced to the Super Bowl on the no call, and maybe there was more coverage given to the lack of a call than the fact that the Rams won the game. But at least that was like a really close game where the call directly influenced the outcome of the game, whereas this was just a personality-driven thing.
Brett Martel's with us from the Associated Press. LSU beats Iowa 102-85. They score the most points in a half in women's championship game history. They score the most points in a game in women's championship history. How about Jasmine Carson coming off the bench in the first half? A couple of Tigers get into foul trouble. She just starts bombing threes, Brett, including that off the glass one at the right before the half. She finishes with 22 points in her LSU finale and was 5 of 6 from 3-point range. Just outrageous. Averages 8 points a game, had 22 in 22 minutes.
Right. Well, it was the type of game that asked her to shoot the ball more, and she obviously was feeling good when the first one went in. I mean, she was going to keep shooting it. She has been a 3-point shooter for them, one of their better 3-point shooters all year long, but LSU hasn't been a team that really relied on the 3-point ball all year long. In fact, I covered, I think, one game where they went 0 for 14 from 3-point range.
Yeah, they were 0 for 10 against Utah before they hit a few down the stretch. 0 for 10, 0 for 11. They hit 65% of their threes yesterday.
Yeah, it's something that they had shown the potential to do, but hadn't demonstrated before that they could actually do it. And it was just one of those games where, it finally came together for them. That's definitely not their formula for winning in the future. It hasn't been their formula for winning all season long. But when you're able to play really good defense and get strong offensive rebounding from Angel Reece and and good play in the paint from LaDeja Williams, and then also hit those threes, it made them virtually impossible to beat.
Yep, Williams was incredible last night as well, or yesterday. She had 20 points. How about Alexis Morris? Just her story, Brett. Kicked off the Baylor team by Mulkey, and they win the national title that year. She goes to Rutgers, and then goes to Texas A&M, and then the last 2 seasons back with Mulkey at LSU. The only returning starter. She took over the game in the fourth quarter when Iowa's cut that 21-point lead to 7. She had 15 of her 21 points in the fourth quarter and did a pretty good job on Caitlin Clark. All of Caitlin Clark's shots were from deep outside, not a lot of penetration and assists, and not a lot of baskets inside for Caitlin Clark.
Right. I mean, Morris is sort of they kind of compare her to a Allen Iverson type of player because she's little, but she's highly skilled and really quick.
Yep.
And but one thing she doesn't do is she doesn't necessarily assert herself scoring-wise early in games. She seems to like to get a feel for how the game is going, and she's happy to let her teammates kind of carry the load in scoring until she feels like. I mean, I've seen her do it several times this year, where she would hardly score for the first 3 quarters, and then pour it on in the fourth when they needed it and would win. And her teammates would say she always seems to be there at the end hitting a big shot. And she did that several times throughout the NCAA tournament. And so it was no surprise really to see the bulk of her scoring come late and to see her really kind of dominate the end of the game, where she was able to, where LSU has the lead and you want to run clock and still get a good shot off. You just give her the ball and let her go to work.
Boy, Mulkey got on her with that 10-second violation, but she's known Mulkey a long time. They both seem to love each other, and Alexis Morris, I would say, was the MVP of that game yesterday. When you score 102 points, Brett, you're going to have a lot of players in double figures. LSU had 5 players in double figures, and Angel Reece, once again, another double-double, the most in NCAA history in a season.
Yep. And I think what is so amazing about her is that when she has a good game, it's like 30 points and 20 rebounds, and her bad game is still a double-double in the teams,
Yep.
So now, she'll even make fun of herself and say that one of the reasons she has so many offensive rebounds is because sometimes she misses a lot of shots, but there's still an art to rebounding your own miss. The other team's not just standing there letting you rebound your own missed shot. So her rebounding prowess still shines through, in my opinion, in those moments. And, and she creates second chances for herself. But, yeah, of course, if she would make more point-blank shots, she wouldn't have as many rebounds, probably not as many double-doubles.
Brett Martel's with us from the Associated Press. Brett, year 2 of Mulkey, 1 returning starter from a 26-6 team. They've gone 60-8 since she took over a 9-win team, and now they're national champs. Pretty hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is kind of hard to believe.
The transfer portal, that type of stuff was a huge help, but everybody gets to go through the transfer portal. Everybody uses it. It's not like LSU exclusive.
Right. It's not LSU exclusive. Now, I think it's easier to take advantage of. There's a convergence of factors. It's easier to take advantage of the transfer portal when you're a coach that everybody wants the opportunity to play for.
Yep.
And when you're at a university that, although women's basketball had struggled in the 2 years before Mulkey had gotten there, especially historically, LSU is known to be a very prominent university for athletics, right? Really good overall facilities. The PMAC is outdated, but you still can put 15,000 people in there, so, and they're good.
No, they're state of the art. The PMAC, Brett, this is going to accelerate a new arena. The TAF folks are going to come up with the money because the premium seats and suite sales are going to end up paying for that arena over a couple of decades. So that alone. So, and then you get the men's team going in the right direction. If Matt McMahon's the answer or not, Scott Woodward's not going to sit pat. He's already hired Mulkey, already hired Brian Kelly, Jay Johnson. A lot of success with that AD.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he has the resources to kind of pick and choose who he wants. And you're exactly right. I mean, maybe McMahon will get it going. He inherited a difficult situation, but
impossible situation.
I would fully expect to see Woodward do whatever it takes to get that team winning.
Hey, Brett, shifting gears. Brandon Ingram, 31 points, 26 points, 32, 30, 32, 29, 26, 31, 36 points. That's his last 9 ball games, literally on fire. So are the Pels. I mean, this is a team that lost 17 of 22 at one point in the season, lost 10 in a row. Now they've won 7 of their last 8. They're 40-38 with 4 games to go. They're just a half game back from the 5 or 6 seed. They win out, and they're the 6th seed. They control their own destiny, but it's going to be tough. Tomorrow night, the 3 seed Sacramento. Wednesday night, the 2 seed Memphis. Friday, it's the 5th seed in the East, the Knicks. And then they finish up Sunday on the road at Minnesota. The next 3 at the Smoothie King Center. Tough to win out, but it'd be nice to make the playoffs as the 6th seed and avoid the play-in game, right?
It would be, and it would be tough to win out, but they do have 3 of those games at home, and so that helps.
And some of these teams that are kind of locked and loaded, they can lose, and it doesn't affect their seeding, like Utah last week. They might sit a star player or 2.
Right. Yeah, that's totally possible, especially in terms of the next 2 teams they're playing. With the Knicks, being in 5th place in the East, that game may be more important to them. And obviously it's going to be a big game at Minnesota, which just had an inexplicable loss to Portland. So it's hard to even figure out where that team's going. But these next 2 games are going to be interesting. I mean, those are the 2 toughest ones, but they're both at home. The team is playing well, and Ingram definitely seems to have turned a corner for his production this season. He's been back from injury for a while, and I think the team got fed up with losing, and they had some long, hard talks, and he decided to be a more aggressive player. I think that they kind of sorted out, how he should or should be in terms of, scoring when they need it and how they want him to play. And something's really clicked with Ingram and his chemistry with the rest of the team in the last, 8 games. And they really could be 8-0 over those games. I mean, they kind of fell apart there at the end against the Warriors. And some other things happened with Steph Curry getting hot and then having some good rebounding underneath. But, they're definitely playing, way better. I mean, it's weird. It's like not even the same team they were before they went on that.
No, exactly. And I said Utah, I meant Denver, resting some of their starters.
Right, Denver, yeah.
Yeah, the Pels are on fire right now, so it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. Masters week at Augusta. A lot of lines there. Brett, Tiger coming back. He doesn't play many tournaments anymore, basically just the majors. The LIV golfers involved. And there's talk of bad weather over the weekend. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But Tiger alone's going to draw a big audience, and the LIV controversy.
Right. Now, I'm very curious to see what kind of tough questions those guys who show up are going to have to answer about that.
Yeah, just say it's hey, Brett, we're going to restart the UPI. You're going to work a third of the time you work at the AP. We're going to give you 5 years of salary as a signing bonus, and we're going to pay you triple what you get paid. I'll be talking to UPI sports writer Brett Martel next week. I mean, Corey, go at this station and get a huge bonus, triple your salary, work less. Just say that. Don't tell me all the other garbage.
Right. I mean, but the issue is, where's the money coming from? And can you look yourself in the mirror and say that it's not coming from
the
suspicious.
They look in the mirror of their new house all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. But I know a lot of what they're going to say is that because they did this now, there are elevated events on the PGA Tour, and the players on the PGA Tour should be thanking them for,
Yeah, maybe they will say something like that. It'll be an interesting week at Augusta. Oh, Brett, Blue Boy's barking. You know what that means.
Yep, time to sign off.
Yep. See you next Monday. Thank you, Brett.
All right, good talking to you, Corey.
That's Brett Martel from the AP. Corey Johnson with you. Huh. What's going on there, Jason? Where's old Blue Boy? He stopped barking? Uh-oh. Hey, New Orleans, thanks so much for checking us out. See you tomorrow, straight up 4 o'clock, right here, 93.9 FM, New Orleans.